The man came down from the mountain with a lantern in his hand and shouted to the people, "We have lost many things in our debates and discussions. We have moved forward so far that we have even lost our prophets." And then he realized there was no one left to listen. This narrative may remind some of Nietzsche's "Thus Spoke Zarathustra," or perhaps of the writings of Albert Camus, or even D.H. Lawrence, but what matters most is the essence of what this man is saying. The death of the prophet does not mean the death of the teaching. That much is clear, but what if the very image of the prophet is lost? Let me make this clearer with an example. The Jesus of the Christians is very different from the Jesus of the Muslims. Similarly, when it comes to the Prophet Muhammad in Islam, there are numerous accounts and differing opinions about his life and the narrations concerning him, especially when we consider the perspectives of different sects within Islam. The man who came down from the mountain and cried out that he could no longer find the image of the prophet was in truth also pointing to the others who themselves did not know what they truly believed. The real question that follows is this: how can we claim to be in love with the figure of the prophet if there is no unified idea of him among the many? If that is the case, then our love is not directed towards a single truth, but towards an image shaped within our own minds through our consciousness, our longings, and our desires for forgiveness and elevation, so that we might find happiness. This is deeply problematic for many of us arguing over such things and place other authors as authorities over the prophet's image. Yet these authors too wrote only according to what was present in the imaginations of their time, or through a partial understanding. What else could it mean than that a man cannot find the complete image of the prophet even if he were present in the same age? The difference between those who actually saw the prophet and us who now know him only through text is this: for the one who saw him, whatever was perceived at that moment was truly in their own mind. But for us, whatever we read is already the creation of other minds, shaped and transmitted through their words. Thus, the image of the prophet, in essence, becomes the desire of other people's minds, how they tried to see him, how they tried to figure him out, and how they decorated or distorted the image of the noble character. But truly, there has to be nobility if he is a prophet, but this nobility is lost when we read different texts that are the products of different sects or religions, be they whatever authentic. Now, the man's cry for the loss of the prophet does not mean that we have lost everything. It is just an example of how we are still trying to lose the essence of our faith, our God, and our book. It does not mean that there was no such prophet ever in existence in history. There was, and indeed there was. But what is lost in our countless debates and discussions is the essence of that prophet. So, the loss of the prophet is the symbol for us to understand that we must stop where we are and look at our ways of comprehension. Let us stop where we are and stop our ego with all that it asks from us, and let us try to contribute to the things that we do understand and that we do know when we speak about them. The majority of our discussions do not contain any meaning beyond the satisfaction of our own emotions. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you all a good day. And if you want to note something that you find valuable or that you think is a bit illogical or can be improved, please comment, and thank you so much for listening to me.